The power of radio is in your hands. You can play. You can pause.
Rewind.
You can download. It's Vicalonia Radio. Solely for your listening pleasure. You are listening to your number one online edutainment radio.
The greatest inventions of the world were possible through mathematics. You say mathematics is difficult? Let's prove you wrong. Welcome to Keeping Up with Mathematics. Tune in every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on Vicalonia Radio as Romero exposes all the tricks to solving math problems faster and easier. Oh yes, mathematics just got easier.
Good afternoon, my wonderful listeners out there. Here again on Vicalonia Radio. It's Keeping Up with Mathematics, and I still remain your wonderful math teacher on air, Romero. A big happy new month and a happy independence celebration to you all. Let's not forget, it's our duty to make Nigeria great. I'm a proud Nigerian, and I'm sure you are also. So today we'll be starting a new topic, and I will be calling it commercial mathematics. As the name implies, commercial mathematics is a branch of mathematics that deals with calculation involving money. Yeah, calculation involving money. Have you really ever wondered how taxes are being calculated? Have you ever thought of the meaning of discount on a product? Do you know what it means for people to say loan is to be amortized? Well, stay tuned and you'll get all those information.
You're listening to your number one online edutainment radio.
Okay, Google, who is Davido?
According to Wikipedia, is a Nigerian singer, songwriter, and record producer.
Guy, this evening phone is too sharp.
Fresh on the beat.
In Phoenix, the future is now.
Do you know that you can advertise your business and brand to thousands of listeners on Vicalonia Radio?
Oh yes, and at a very, very cheap and affordable rate. For as low as 1,000 Naira, you can advertise with us.
Simply call us on 081 39 36 3906. On Vicalonia Radio, we give a new life to your business.
You're listening to your number one online edutainment radio.
So starting with this week, we'll be starting on a topic, simple interest. Well, it's very simple, quite simple as the name implies. So what's actually simple interest? What's actually interest? Interest is that payment that you have to make for the use of money. Most of the time, this money, which is called a principal, is actually borrowed. Like you pay interest when you borrow a money and you use this money to fund something, a business transaction, or there's an interest you have to pay. The calculation of this interest is what we're going to learn. So we have a general formula for simple interest to be I. For interest to be I equals to PRT over 100, where I stands for the interest, P stands for the principal, that is the money borrowed, the money initially given. R stands for the rate at which this interest is being calculated, and T starts from the time, the number of years. It could be number of years, it could be number of months, depending on the person you're working with. Then we have A, amount. What's amount? Amount have to be the principal plus interest. That is money initially borrowed plus the accumulated interest. When you add it together, that is the amounts to be paid back for the money borrowed. So starting with our first example, let's say calculate the simple interest on 200 Naira for 2 years at 5% annum. Here we have our principal, which is initial money, to be 200 Naira. We have T, time, to be for 2 years, and we have R, the rate, for 5%. So what do we do? Impute it into the formula. We have interest I is equal to PRT over 100. That is 200 times 5 times 2 all divided by 100, and that is left with 20 naira. So the simple interest is equals to 20 naira. I hope that is quite very easy for you to understand. So for our second topic, is a find a time in which 514 naira will earn 10 naira interest at 2.5% rates. So here we already have our principal and we already have our interest. Interest is 10 naira, the principal is 540 naira, and we have the rates, which is 2.5%. So we are looking for T here, time. So it's very simple. From our formula I equal to PRT over 100, make T the subject of the formula. So we have T is equals to 100I, that's 100 multiplied by I, all divided by PR. So our T here is equals to T equal to 100 times I is what? 10 divided by 540 times 5 over 2. How do you get 5 over 2? That's from the fraction 2.5. So we convert it as 5 over 2. So we have T now is equals to what? 20. So we have T equals to 20 over 27. That's equal to 0.74 years. It's not even up to a year. So we have 0.48. When you change it to days, that's multiplied by 365. We have a time is equals to 270 days. It's as simple as that. For another example, calculate the amount on 450 naira in 5 months at 2.5%. Take note of the question. We are not asked to find interest. We are asked to calculate the amount. So what do you do? But first of all, initially we need to find the interest. So when we are given that principal P is equals to 450 naira, we are given that the rate is 2.5% and the time is 5 months. Remember, when working with time, I told you we're working with number of years. So that time for 5 months we'll be doing 5 divided by 12. 12 is the number of months in a year. So we have doing 5 divided by 12 to get the equivalent of 5 months in a year. So then I is equals to what? PRT over 100, which is equals to what? Our P is 450, our rate is 5 over 2, and our time is 5 over 12, all divided by 100. Now we have 450 times 5 times 5 divided by 100 times 2 times 12, and we have our interest to be 4 naira 69 kobo. Now we are asked to find amount. What do we do? I initially gave us a formula, say amount is equals to principal plus interest. Our principal is what? 450. Our interest is what? 4.69. So adding both of them, we have our amount to be 454 naira 69 kobo. So now we'll be talking about compound interest. You know the major difference between these that compound interest have to work in a way that the interest, the principal for the second year, have to be the addition of the initial principal plus the interest generated. So what I mean is by when you're given a class to calculate the compound interest for a period of let's say 2-3 years, then after calculating the interest, simple interest of the first year, when you calculate from the second year, then the principal will now be initial in a principal given plus the interest of year 1. So let me explain that with an example. I hope you understand better. So when we are asked to calculate the compound interest on 500 naira at 3% per annum for 2 years, at 3% per annum for 2 years, what do? We do year 1. Now for the year 1, we have interest is equals to PRT over 100. What's our P? 500. What's our the rates? 3 times 1. To calculate for just 1 year, 1 divided by 100. Then we have our rates. We have our interest to be 15 naira. So for the year 2, we still have to use the same formula. I is equal to PRT over 100, but this time our principal will now be initial 500, which is the general principal, plus the interest generated in year 1, 15 naira. Then our principal now equals to 515 naira. Rate remains 3 multiplied by 1 all divided by 100, then we'll come out with what? 15.45 as the new rate. Our question was calculate the compound interest generated. The compound interest generated now we have to be what? From the final principal we have, which is 530 naira 45 kobo minus the initial 500 naira given. So the interest over the period of 2 years now becomes 30 naira 45 kobo. I really hope you understand that. 30 naira 45 kobo. So let's take another example. You say, what sum? This example is quite very technical. You say, what sum invested for 3 years at 5% compound interest will amount to 2,000? What sum invested for 3 years at 5% compound interest will amount for 2,000? At this point in time, we were given no principal. So, since the question is quite technical, what do we do? Let's calculate. Let's assume we were given 1 naira. For instance, we're given 1 naira. Let's calculate with 1 naira. So here we say, if 1 naira was given to us, the interest of 1 naira for year 1 is equal to what? 1 times 5 times 1, which is the number of year. We're still using the formula PRT over 100, all divided by 100, and we have what? 0.05 as our interest. 0.05 as our interest. Remember, for the year 2, we add initial 1 naira to this 0.05, then we do P 1.05. Remember, we are taking 1 naira as our principal now. So 1.05 times 5 times 1 divided by 100, we have as our interest 0.0525 kobo. That is that as our interest. Now remember, we add this now to our year 2 principal. That's 1.05 for us to get the principal we can calculate in year 3. Principal for year 3 now is 1.1025 multiplied by rate 5 times 1 divided by 100. We finally come as an interest of 0.0551 plus the principal we use in year 3. That's coming down to a figure. We are coming down to a principal of 1.1576 after a period of 10 years. So this is the principal after a period of 10 years. So what do we do if we were asked what sum invested in 3 years will come up to that amount? If 1 naira can come up with 1.1576, 1 naira 1,506 kobo, if you can come up with this in number of 3 years, then how much of S will come up with 2,000? What is S? S is the sum. How much sum are we going to invest that's going to come up with 2,000? It's simple cross multiplication. By the time we cross multiply, we find that S is equal to 2,000 divided by 1.1576, leaving us with S equals to 1,727 naira 71 kobo. Meaning now 1,727 naira 71 kobo, when invested for 3 years at that rate, will amount to 2,000 naira. So I really hope you understand that. So we're going to the next. Let's say discount. What is discount? Any deduction made from the price of an article is called a discount. I'm talking about discount now. So there are different types of discount. So when a trader gives a discount on a price of goods bought by a fellow trader, it is called trade discount. On the other hand, when discount is given maybe by a trader to a buyer that will make payment immediately, it is called cash discount. So I really hope you understand that. I really hope you understand that. So for discounts, let's look at just one example. If a woman pays 250 naira 50 kobo for a price of clothes, and a deduction of 10 kobo per 1 naira has been made, what was the price of the clothes. This is quite technical. She paid 250 naira 50 kobo for a price of the clothes, and there's already been a deduction of that clothes. So they're asking us now, what is the original price of these clothes? Now, this deduction is at 10 kobo per naira. So for every 1 naira inside 250 naira 50 kobo, a 10 kobo discount have been made on every 1 naira of it. So now, how many 10 kobo is inside 1 naira? So let's find the percentage of 10 kobo in 1 naira. We have 10 over 100, and we have 10%. 10%. That means there's a discount of 10% on it. So this woman actually paid 90% of the original product, of the original price. She paid 90% of the original price of this clothes, and this 90% summed out to be 250 naira 50 kobo. That means if we are actually to look for the original amount, what we will say, if 250 naira 50 kobo happens to be 90% of the original price, that means 250 naira 50 kobo is equal to 90 over 100, which is 90% of original price. Let's call it S. What do? We cross multiply. S will now be equal to 250 naira 50 kobo multiply by 100 divided by 90, and that will come out as a sum of 278 naira 33 kobo. That means the original price of that cloth is 278 naira 33 kobo. I really hope you understand this very well. And with this, we'll be coming to the end of today's episode of Keeping Up with Mathematics. I really hope you enjoyed yourself. Well, I did enjoy myself, maybe because of the calculation of money. We all need money. And with this commercial mathematics, I really hope you find the importance of kobo. Yeah, kobo. Though we know in this very day in Nigeria, it sounds worthless, but well, our kobo is still important. So have a wonderful day and thank you.